So your wife asked you for divorce papers, and chances are you felt completely blindsided. And then the question becomes, now what? In this video, we're going to discuss the key steps you need to take if your wife talked about divorce, initiated divorce, you're in the middle of the divorce process, or right after divorce and you're still in what I like to call the divorce fog. So if your wife talked about divorce, separation, or wanted space, or dropped you with the I love you, but I'm not in love with you, that can be an array of reasons. However, what you need to understand is that right now, your sole goal should not be to save the marriage. Your sole goal needs to be to work on yourself, because whatever it was that you were doing prior was obviously not working because it got you to this point. And this is why I like to say that divorce is God's wake-up call, because it really forces a man to look at himself and say, okay, what is going on here? Well, those men that choose to look at themselves and say, what was it that brought me to this point? And it's what I like to call the mirror effect. You start to look at yourself in the mirror and say, whoa, did I really do this? Did I really do that? Did I drop the ball here? Was I leading here? And it's a painful process. The Bible talks about don't look at the speck in your brother's eye, look at the plank in your eyes. So it's the same thing. You need to use this time to really focus on yourself. Forget about the marriage for this point. And you might be like, well, I need to save the marriage. I need to do this. No. You need to work on you. You need to find out what are the things that got you to this point. You need to take 100% responsibility and accountability for your actions or lack of actions that got you to this point. Because it's only from that place. It's only from that place of you truly looking at yourself in the mirror and seeing the reflection back that you can truly say, wow, I need to change this. Because it's so easy to say, oh, she did this, she did that, she's an avoidant, or she's an attached, or she's anxious, or she has daddy issues, or you name it. I mean, it's very easy to cast blame outside. It's a lot harder to look at yourself. And the longer the more time you spend trying to figure her out, the longer time you spend trying to see her flaws, the less time you have to look at yourself, and the less that you actually work on yourself. You're actually avoiding doing the true inner work. Because if you're here, brother, like I like to say, I believe this is God's wake-up call. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to end up in divorce, but it is God telling you this is something that there's something in your life that you need to retool, that you need to reshift, that's not working. And by the way, that could be I no longer need to be with this woman, but that's not the lesson. The lesson is you. The lesson is getting to the point where you tell yourself, okay, this is how I got here. This is how I dropped the ball. This is how I wasn't leading as a man. This is where I wasn't present. This is where I was a dictator. This is where I was a doormat. This is where I was people pleasing. Because if you don't get these things right now, if you don't retool and refix right now, guess what's going to happen? In your next relationship, you're going to repeat the same pattern. And again, repeat the same pattern, and that's why you have guys who are like divorced 2 or 3 times and have a bunch of children. Because they avoid sitting in the pain, because it is in the pain that you find purpose. It is in the pain that you find clarity. It is in the pain that you grow and that you fix. You look at the concept of the gym. You go to the gym, you break down the muscle by doing weights so that when it rebuilds itself stronger. So use that same analogy for your life right now. You're right now at a crossroads in your life. You're about to lose your family, maybe your business, your finances, your retirement fund. I mean, there's so much on the line. Nothing can get you ready for what a divorce is. On top of not only the financial, material things in your family, but also the emotional component. All that's juxtaposed in right in front of you. And it's like, and your chances are you're about mid-age. I'm 42 years old, so I'm like right halfway. I just finished getting out of my divorce. I'm like right in the middle of my life. I got the next 40 years. So it really forced me to ask myself, what's the type of life that I want to live moving forward? Independent of my children, independent of my partner, independent of my clients. What's the type of life I want to live? And what are the things that I did that got me to this point? Because I don't want to say that it's a failure, because it's not a failure, but it is a wake-up call. So you need to take accountability and responsibility. Fine, you can go off with your buddies and start drinking and say, oh, my ex-wife was this, and she was that, and she's avoiding, and she has daddy issues, and she, slept with someone else, and she runs every time vulnerability, and she you name it. I mean, you can get a bunch of excuses, but where's your time, energy, and focus going to? It's going to the other person. It's not going to you. Because ultimately, you came into this world by yourself. And you're going to live this world, chances are, by yourself. So you need to focus on yourself. So what you need to do if they hit you with the I love you and not in love with you, stop trying to figure out what that means. Stop trying to figure out where she's coming from. Stop trying to talk about trying to save the relationship. Start talking about how to save yourself. Start talking about where you dropped the ball. And brother, let me tell you, it's a painful process, and that's when I created the community Divorce to Dominance, to help men like yourself and like myself go through this whole process of really, you're almost being reborn. I read the in scripture this morning. I believe it was the book of John that I opened up this morning. I think it was John 3. And it talked about how we need to be reborn so that we can enter the kingdom of God. And I believe that a divorce is your opportunity to reset in your life, to be reborn. Both you and her, by the way. You know, that soul is having that own experience, and you're going to have your experience. But I'm talking to you, man. I'm talking to you because if you got here, it's because chances are you probably dropped the ball. You're going to say, well, what do you mean I dropped the ball? Look at the house she lives in. Look at the car she drives. I'm Mr. Honeydew. I clean the dishes. I walk the dogs. You name it. But were you truly present? Were you truly showing unconditional love? Instead of just buying things. Were you there with your wife and kids, but thinking about work? Be honest with yourself. I like to say that it's almost like I know myself. I was in a zombie state. I was there physically, but emotionally I was dead because I didn't know how to make contact with my own emotions. And chances are, a lot of you guys watching this video, that's what got you here. If you're a successful businessman and you've been successful in your career, maybe a C-level executive, and you checked all the boxes that society wanted you to check, but you failed at this, it's not that you failed at the relationship. It's that you failed at love. I know it sounds cheesy, and if you want to learn more, click on the link in the description so that I can help you understand what that means. Because you're probably saying, yeah, I love my wife, I bought her this, I did that, but did you really allow yourself to feel love? That might sound like a really foreign concept right now, but as you go through this process, which could last years, it could last years. Now, you can shorten that time, you can make it quicker by joining a community like myself or hiring a coach or whatever the case may be, and really dig down and understand what it is, what are the things that got you to this point. Take 100% accountability. As a man, you are the leader of the household, you are the head of the household, and you got yourself to this point. So look at yourself in the mirror. Take this opportunity. Dig deep and say, what did I do wrong? Okay, I did this wrong. Now, how do I change it? How do I make it better? Forget about your ex-wife. If you're here, I'm not saying that reconciliation is not possible. Chances are there could be, but it's slim. But again, that's not what you need to focus on. You need to focus on you. Yes, you need to focus on you, because when a woman says it's over, or she's done, or she needs space, chances are she's been thinking about it for a while, because women grieve the relationship inside the relationship. Men grieve the relationship outside the relationship. So if she's pushing away from you and she's asking space, it's because she wants to be free. She doesn't want to go back into a bad situation. She wants to move forward with her life. And that doesn't include you at this current moment, because she doesn't feel emotionally safe with you. And that's for another video. You can watch some of those other videos on this channel that talk about you being emotionally safe. But again, this video is you taking about 100% accountability and responsibility. So when they hit you with the divorce papers, when they hit you with their love, no matter love with you, when you feel like you've been blindsided, if you feel like you've been blindsided, you're so disconnected from yourself, you have no idea. Because all you're doing is just checking the boxes of life. Baby, tell me what I need to do. Instead of like connecting with your woman. Okay, I'm gonna go. I took the kids to soccer practice, instead of being there present with them and enjoying every moment. This is what I'm talking about. This is the presence. This is the thing that we talk about this channel. This is what Divorce to Dominance really is all about. It's how to help men become present. Successful men become present. Because if you're a successful businessman or entrepreneur, C-level executive, like I said, you probably checked all the boxes. You've done everything right by society, but you got it this wrong. And the reason why you got this wrong, and you might not understand what I'm talking about right now, is because you were not present. What does present mean? being connected to yourself, because only once you're connected to yourself is when you can connect to others. The masculine is the mind, the logic. The feminine is the heart, and it's love. So most guys are always here, always in the mind. I need to do, I need to grow, I need to this, I need to that. So they're always in doing instead of being. And love comes from the being state. It doesn't come from the doing state. It's not checking fucking boxes, guys. It's being. It's dropping in. And this is what we do in our community, Divorce Anonymous. So stop focusing on her. Stop trying to save the marriage. And start trying to save you, because it's only from you starting to save you that you even have a shot at saving the marriage. For myself, I spent the first year of the divorce solely focusing on what she was doing wrong, and I avoided looking at myself in the mirror. And it wasn't until I started looking at myself in the mirror and I started taking 100% accountability and responsibility for my actions, where I was able to understand the magnitude of my actions and the impact it had on my ex-wife, and the impact it had on my children, and the impact it has on society as a whole. Because now there's another broken family. And I'm not saying this to be sad, because I don't regret the divorce, because I think this was the only way I could wake up. I believe this was my awakening. This is my awakening. God had to bring me down to my knees so that I can wake up. And if you're watching this, chances are God is also calling you right now to wake up, to rise up, to stop fucking around, to stop being a bitch, and to say, you know what? It's time. It's time to live in presence. It's time to live in love. It's time to open up my heart to the world, because it is truly from that point that you can actually enjoy living life. So I don't want to get off on a tangent here, but in conclusion, if you get hit with divorce papers, stop trying to save the marriage and start trying to save you, because your personal transformation can only outpace your marriage transformation. So what that means is to the extent that you can work on yourself and you can change yourself, then you have a shot at saving your marriage. And at the end of the day, whether you're reconciled or not, you need to be a better person for yourself, for your children, because they need you. And if chances are you weren't present. So anyways, if you like this video, you like this content, go ahead and click the subscribe or the thumbs up button so that other people can get to this information that I needed. If you want to work with me, we can schedule a free one-on-one call to really get to know your situation and see how I can help. And truly, you can start living a dominant lifestyle and really and move forward with your life. So anyways, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, take care now. Bye-bye. And remember who you are.